Victoria Langley, who drove 47 children to school every morning, seemed like a normal school bus driver. When three armed men boarded the bus on Highway 95, the children began screaming in terror. But Victoria acted differently, too calm, too calculated, as if she had faced such situations before. Over the next 73 minutes, everyone on Highway 95 would learn who Victoria Langley really was. Because some people wear school bus driver uniforms but actually have Delta Force hostage rescue backgrounds. Before diving into this incredible child rescue story, tell us in the comments which city you're watching from today. And if you believe stories like this deserve to be told, hit that subscribe button. Victoria Langley was exactly what she appeared to be at Lincoln Elementary School District, a 2-year-old experienced school bus driver. Medium height, strong build, dark brown hair, always in a neat ponytail. She'd been working in school transportation in Florida for 8 years, spent weekends gardening, and had never neglected a single safety procedure. What the children couldn't see was what lived behind those calm brown eyes. 15 years ago, Victoria was Staff Sergeant Langley, United States Army Delta Force operator. 2 tours in Somalia, 3 in Afghanistan, 2 in Iraq. As a hostage rescue specialist, 127 successful operations. She has saved the lives of more than 300 civilians and soldiers in the most dangerous rescue operations. But Victoria never talked about that life. Not to Principal Harrington, not to other drivers, not even to herself if she could help it. She had built a new identity based on child safety and school transportation, deliberately choosing the most ordinary civilian career possible. What Victoria didn't know was that in exactly 73 minutes, all that training would surface, whether she wanted it to or not. The afternoon started normally. Victoria was picking up children from Lincoln Elementary, 2:30 p.m. to 3:45 p.m. 47 children, ages 5 to 11. She knew each of their names, which stop they got off at, which parent was waiting for them. Wednesday, the 22nd of March, 2024. As Victoria parked the bus in front of the school, she did her usual safety check. Brakes, lights, stop sign, emergency exits, everything was perfect. "Good afternoon, children," Victoria said to each child boarding the bus. "Buckle your seatbelts." But Victoria's trained eyes automatically scanned the environment. Suspicious vehicles, unusual activity, potential threats. Delta Force training had taught her situational awareness. This habit had never left. At 3:15 p.m., when they got onto Highway 95, she would be proven right. Everything changed. Highway 95, Wednesday afternoon traffic. Victoria was following Route 1 Ampere, the safest path, minimum risk. The children were talking in the back, doing homework, looking out the windows. At mile marker 47, a black SUV approached. Victoria immediately noticed aggressive driving, tinted windows following too close. Pattern recognition kicked in. "Mrs. Langley," said 8-year-old Isabel. "Why is that car following us?" Victoria confirmed in the rearview mirror. Black Suburban. 3 men inside. Tactical positioning. This wasn't random traffic. "Don't worry, Isabel," Victoria said in a calm voice. "Everything is under control." But Victoria was doing threat assessment in her mind. Multiple occupants, probable weapons, children as targets. This was a kidnapping attempt. The SUV passed the bus and braked hard. Victoria was forced to stop. Immediately, 3 armed men got out of their vehicles. The children began screaming. 3 armed men walked toward the bus. The leader, a Hispanic male in his 32nd, carried an assault rifle. The other 2 took flanking positions with handguns. Victoria immediately did combat assessment. 3 hostiles, automatic weapons, 47 civilian targets, ages 5 to 11. Worst case scenario. "Driver, open the door," the leader shouted. Victoria complied, but secretly activated the emergency transponder, an invisible panic button broadcasting location to police. The leader got on the bus. "Nobody move. Everyone stay seated." The children were terrified, crying. Victoria stood up slowly. "Sir, these are children," Victoria said in a calm voice. "If you want money, shut up." The leader pointed his weapon at Victoria. "We're not here for money." Victoria immediately understood. This was a targeted kidnapping. High V-value targets among the children. Ransom operation. But Victoria was acting differently. Too calm, too controlled. Delta Force muscle memory was kicking in. Victoria quickly did a mental inventory. Hostiles, 3 armed men, assault rifles, handguns. Hostages, 47 children, ages 5 to 11. Environment, school bus, Highway 95, limited exits, weapons, none available. Advantage, enemy doesn't know her background. Driver, what's your name? The leader asked. Victoria Langley. Okay, Victoria, very simple. You drive where we tell you. No radio, no phones, no heroes, the children stay safe. Victoria nodded. I understand. You won't hurt the children. If you cooperate well, no problem. But Victoria was already building an escape plan. Delta Force hostage rescue training automatically kicked in. Assess, plan, execute. Victoria began driving the bus, but was also establishing communication with the children. Children, Victoria said in a calm, authoritative voice. We're going to play a special game now. The quiet mouse game. The quietest one wins. The children took comfort from Victoria's tone. The crying subsided. The leader was suspicious. What are you doing? Calming the children. Scared children are harder to control. The leader nodded. Logical. But Victoria was actually sending coded messages to the children. Quiet mouse game was code used in Delta Force for civilian protection. Keep children away from potential danger, prevent panic. Victoria observed the children in the rearview mirror, 47 pairs of eyes trusting her. Exactly like the civilian rescues in Somalia. Turn left at the next exit, the leader said. Victoria complied, but mentally memorized the route. They were heading to a rural area. Isolated location, minimal police response. Sir, the children need water, Victoria said. Long trip, no stops. Victoria nodded, but secretly did an inventory of emergency supplies. First aid kit, emergency radio, flares, standard school bus equipment, but in Delta Force hands, it could become weapons. At mile marker 23, the leader took a phone call. He spoke in Spanish, coordinating ransom demands. Victoria caught fragments of the conversation. Children safe. Money ready. Exchange location. Target confirmed. Ransom kidnapping. Multiple children from wealthy families. Victoria remembered Isabel Moreau, the judge's daughter. Lucas Vandenberg, the senator's son. High-value targets. Victoria was sending subtle hand signals to the children. Signals used in Delta Force for civilian protection. Stay calm. Trust me. Ready to move. 10-year-old Clara Becker, who knew Victoria well from school, understood the signals. She whispered to the other children. Driver, what are the children whispering? The leader asked suspiciously. They're scared. They're comforting each other. The leader accepted the explanation. But actually, Clara was transmitting Victoria's emergency plan to the other children. When the signal comes, duck low, cover heads, don't look up. Victoria was proud. These children were learning Delta Force style coordination. Mile marker 8, rural highway. The leader received instructions from his phone. Industrial area warehouse, 247. Victoria realized exchange location. They would take the children to the warehouse. Negotiate ransom. This was Victoria's last chance. Sir, there's a problem with the brakes, Victoria said. Stopping distance is long. What problem? Air pressure is low. Dangerous for the children. The leader consulted with his partners. It will be checked. Victoria slowly pulled the bus to the roadside. Standard procedure, innocent. But actually, Victoria had taken tactical position. She assessed the school bus's emergency exits. Rear door, side windows, roof hatches. Delta Force planning kicked in completely. Victoria stopped the bus. I need to check the brakes, she told the leader. Be fast. Victoria stepped out, but secretly unlocked the rear emergency exit. Invisible movement, escape route for the children. When she returned, she was a completely different person. Delta Force Victoria was activated. The problem is big, Victoria said. Brake failure imminent. Dangerous for the children. Keep driving, sir. Federal law. Child safety first. I can't move the bus. The leader was frustrated, aggressive. I said drive. Victoria's response shocked everyone. Number? The leader pointed his weapon at Victoria. If you won't drive, Victoria moved. 15 years of Delta Force training, hostage rescue, close quarters combat. In a split second, she grabbed the leader's wrist, redirected the weapon upward, knee strike to solar plexus. The leader doubled over, weapon clattered to the floor. The second hostile reacted, but Victoria was already moving. She grabbed the emergency hammer from the school bus driver's seat. Tactical strike to pressure point. The third hostile panicked, fired a random shot upward. Children down, Victoria shouted in pure command voice. 47 children instantly hit the floor. Delta Force civilian protection training. Perfect response. Victoria secured all 3 weapons. Zip-tied the hostiles with emergency restraints from the bus kit. Professional, efficient, flawless. Children, stay down until I say, Victoria said calmly. Police sirens were approaching. The emergency transponder had worked perfectly. Mrs. Langley whispered, Ed Isabel Moreau, why weren't you scared when you heard those gunshots? Victoria paused. It was time to tell the truth she'd been trying to hide for 8 years. Because Isabel, those sounds aren't foreign to me. I'm former Delta Force. Silence. Florida Highway Patrol arrived. Multiple units, SWAT backup, FBI coordination. They expected chaos. They found Victoria Langley calmly directing children's evacuation. 3 suspects secured, 0 injuries. Ma'am, can you explain the situation? Asked Sergeant Dubois. 3-man team, ransom kidnapping attempt, 47 children targeted, suspects neutralized, hostages safe. And how? I'm former Army Delta Force hostage rescue specialist. Sergeant Dubois froze. Delta Force 15 years active duty. This operation was textbook. Parents arrived, panicked, found their children safe. Victoria was directing the reunion process with military precision. Isabel Moreau ran to her father, Judge Moreau. Daddy, Mrs. Langley is a real superhero. What do you mean? She's Delta Force. She defeated the bad guys. Judge Moreau approached Victoria. Ma'am, is this true? Victoria was modest. Sir, I just did my job getting the children home safely. But how? Different background, Judge. Irrelevant at this moment. The next week, Victoria was called to a meeting with Superintendent Ellis. Victoria, we learned about your real background. Military records show Delta Force specialist. Why was there no disclosure? Sir, it was irrelevant. I'm a school bus driver. Military service is the past. But this experience level, Victoria, you're not a normal bus driver. Victoria thought carefully. Sir, I serve best directly to children. Safe transport every day. That's the real mission. Ellis was impressed. Victoria, we're offering you a security coordinator position, district-wide safety protocols. Can I continue driving the bus? Of course. But why? Victoria looked at the children boarding buses outside. Because real protection happens here, getting children safely home. The 47 children began looking at Victoria with different eyes. Not fear, but respect. Mrs. Langley, said Clara Becker. Were you really in Delta Force? Yes, Clara. A long time ago. Why did you become a bus driver? Victoria smiled. Because the most important mission is protecting children at school, on the bus, everywhere. Victoria continued normal bus driving, but with additional responsibilities. Safety instructor, emergency protocols, developer, veteran liaison. Young driver Sophie asked, Victoria, do you miss Delta Force? Victoria watched children safely boarding buses, getting help, going home every day. But now I have a different mission. What's that? Protect children in peace. No war, no combat, just safe journey home. That evening, Victoria went home thinking about the lost civilian operation in Somalia, but also about the 47 children she saved today. The past couldn't be changed, but the future could be different. Every safe trip, every protected child was redemption for that lost mission. The 3 hijackers were tried in federal court. Kidnapping charges, child endangerment, weapons violations. At trial, the FBI testified that Victoria's response likely prevented what would have been the biggest success of a child trafficking ring. Thanks to Victoria's hostage rescue expertise, 47 children returned safely. The hijackers received 25-year sentences. Victoria returned to normal bus duties. Victoria still drives the same bus route. Same 47 children. Some graduated. New ones added, same dedication. But now she's developing national school safety protocols. Delta Force expertise is revolutionizing bus transportation safety. Young drivers see Victoria as a mentor. How do we stay calm in extreme situations? Training experience, understanding that every child is valuable. The Victoria Langley Memorial Safety Protocol was established in the school district. Her hostage rescue expertise was adapted to civilian transportation. Other school districts began hiring Victoria as a consultant, military to civilian safety transition expert. But for Victoria, the most important recognition came from daily life. 6 months later, Victoria received a letter from Isabel Moreau. Dear Mrs. Langley, it read, "You saved my life that day, but more importantly, you showed me that heroes can do ordinary jobs. When I grow up, I want to protect children like you do." Victoria smiled, reading the letter. Full circle. Every child she protected could potentially protect other children. Military training had found perfect civilian application. The phone rang. School dispatch. Victoria, problem on Route 7. Children stranded need replacement driver. Victoria grabbed her keys. On my way. Same mission, different day. Same dedication to service. Because that's what hidden legends do. They don't stop serving. They just find new ways. From battlefield to school bus, from combat zone to child protection, the mission remains the same. Protect those who need protection. So I ask you, have you ever met someone like Victoria Langley? Service providers whose military background you didn't know, who you only saw exceptional dedication? Share their stories in the comments. Because here at Hidden Legends, the greatest protectors often serve in the most humble roles. If this story moved you, share it, subscribe, and help these important stories continue. Remember, the bus driver taking your children to school might be exactly who you need them to be. Service takes many forms. Sometimes it wears combat boots. Sometimes it wears a school bus driver uniform.